Yeah, that thumbnail, very misleading. I can't fight. I mean, look at me, I'm skin and bones. I'd probably die after one well-placed punch to the face. Much rather leave it to the professionals. That is just a fact. Or at least the actors acting like professionals. They're good too. Creed 3. So yeah, we now got our third installment in this Rocky spin-off series. The first Creed movie, freaking awesome. The second Creed movie, also pretty freaking awesome. Now we got Chapter 3, which, if you ask me, is thankfully pretty freaking awesome. So in Creed 3, Adonis Creed, once again played by Michael B. Jordan, he is now the fighting champion of the world. I forget the weight class, honestly. Then someone from his past named Damian Anderson, played by Jonathan Majors, comes back into his life, having just been released from prison after 18 years. Turns out Creed did him wrong back in the day, so Damian is now a little pissed. And he's gonna come after Creed with everything he's got. He has a pretty unorthodox way of fighting. And let's get ready to rumble. Like I said, man, I thought this movie was really good. I mean, these Creed movies, man, they just know how to do it for me. I mean, I still think the first one is the best one. I don't know if that'll ever change. This is a movie of firsts. It's the first movie in this entire franchise without Rocky Balboa in it. It's the first in the franchise to have scenes shot with IMAX cameras. And this marks the first film to be directed by Michael B. Jordan. This is his directorial debut. All three of those firsts are risky, and I think they were all pulled off very well. Now, I know when it comes to this movie, it's really easy to talk about the boxing and Jonathan Majors, but for me, one of my favorite things about it was the family dynamic. We have Tessa Thompson coming back as Bianca, who is now Adonis Creed's wife, and their daughter, Amara Creed, played by Mila Davis Kent. Some of the scenes between the three of them where they're just hashing things out as a family, they're some of my favorite scenes in the movie. The scenes were realistic, they were sweet. The kid in particular, Mila Davis Kent, she's a bright, young, up-and-coming actress, if you ask me. Because I thought she was great. The scenes she shares with Michael B. Jordan, I love them. That to me was like the heart of the movie. So seriously, all of my props to that. Alright, now that that's done, let's talk about Jonathan Majors. This goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. With Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and now Creed 3, he has now established his name in Hollywood as an awesome actor. In fact, you might say that Ant-Man and Creed 3 were his 1-2 punch. Seriously though, he was awesome in this movie because I love the passive-aggressive nature of his character. When he first comes back, he's acting all cool, like, yeah, alright, how have you been, man? It's been a while. But you saw the trailer, so you know that he has all that pent-up rage and anger, and you know that he's just gonna snap. I said this in my Quantumania review, and I'll say it again here. Jonathan Majors is one scary motherfucker! He just knows how to play a great antagonist. You get where he's coming from, you definitely feel his pain. Adonis Creed certainly did do him wrong back in the day. So now Creed is feeling that guilt. He's like, oh man, I totally understand why this guy is coming after me now, but I ain't backing down without a fight. Creed has earned the life he has, so there's that great moral dilemma of, yeah, I fought for the life I have, but that life could have been Damian's had I not done him wrong back in the day, so there is that guilt. That moral conflict was done really well in this movie, I thought. I will say for this movie in particular, it does feel like it's more about the drama than it is about the action and the boxing. Which to me is not a bad thing at all. The boxing is a means to tell the story, it's a vessel for it. I feel like the boxing in this movie could have been replaced with any sport, you know, that's actually how most of these movies are. The story is about conflict between characters. It's not a casual kick your feet up popcorn movie. The writing, the script I thought was really good. Is it predictable? Yeah, but I mean, so is every sports drama. So that's not a fault. But yeah, the boxing scenes, the action scenes, they are a byproduct of the drama of the story. That being said, this movie certainly doesn't shy away from the fights being completely brutal as usual. I thought the fight scenes here were really cool. And if you've seen this movie by now, you know this. They do something different with these fight scenes, like cinematography-wise. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it is kind of experimental. Might have been a call that Michael B. Jordan made as a director. And I can see some people responding negatively to it. They could be like, I don't like that. None of the movies have done something like this before. But I, for one, thought it was pretty neat. It was an interesting way to show what Adonis Creed is thinking during the fight. That brings you along for the ride, you know? It engages you, and I gotta commend that. And of course, the fact that these scenes were shot with IMAX cameras doesn't hurt at all. I actually gotta say, this was a pretty good use of IMAX. The fights feel big, they feel grand. It got me wondering why the previous installments didn't do this. Just goes to show how awesome IMAX is. I just love IMAX. More picture, feels bigger. What's not to love? As for the music in this movie, it's once again great. The score was done not by Ludwig Göransson this time around, but by a colleague of his, Joseph Shirley. Which is cool, because he's actually also scoring the third season of The Mandalorian as well. He also did the Book of Boba Fett, so he's established. This score was really good. It brought back that Creed theme, which I love. It's an awesome, epic fanfare. And then we have the soundtrack, which has all sorts of rap that really gets you hyped up during the movie. You know, you gotta have that training montage with the rap song in the background where he's working out, he's getting ripped. Dude, oh my god, seeing Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors, they are huge, man. If for nothing else, watching these Creed movies, I get the feeling more than watching any other movie, I feel so inferior. Which you would think would inspire me to start working out, but whenever I try to start working out, I always quit after a couple of days because I just get exhausted. But I digress. Creed 3 had it all for me. Awesome writing, awesome characters, awesome drama, man. I love the story of Adonis Creed. Yes, now the series can stand on its own without Rocky Balboa. The fight scenes were brutal, but above all else, the family drama just brought it all home for me. For Creed 3, I will say, go see this movie right now. There is a part of me that kind of hopes this will now end the series as a trilogy, but then the realistic part of me knows that's probably not going to happen. But I can't wait to see what Michael B. Jordan does next because he's still one of my favorite actors working today. And that ain't bad. So Creed 3, have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts on it? And now that we have 3 movies in the franchise, Creed, Creed 2, Creed 3, rank them. What is your order from best to worst, or worst to best? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Peace!